YouTube, did you miss me? Jokes aside, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to another special Sunday video. I know I totally forgot last week to make a special Sunday video and I was a little bit lazy too, but I am back because I was afraid that you missed me a second Sunday, and no, we can't do that. So that's why I'm back with another special Sunday video, and in this video I'm doing something I never did before. Because I will tell you something from my life that happened to me. The reason for that is pretty easy. I'm too lazy to make a cooking video, but maybe next or in 2 weeks I could make one. And I did not want to make another tier list video. That's why I thought I should do a story time video. And that means I will tell you a story of my life. And this story is about mosh pits, because I love mosh pits. I love wall of deaths, I love circle pits, I love the feeling. And sometimes you hurt yourself. And I really love to watch stories from other people, how they got hurt and what was their worst experience. And I know it sounds kinda scary to people who are not into this, but it's also very funny. I think it's funny, and that's the reason why I tell you what happened to me 7 months ago. But before we start, feel free to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell to get notifications every time I release something new, because I release 4 videos a week. And I want to start streaming here also, so yeah, you won't regret it. And feel free to leave a comment down below, because I guess I and my audience are also curious in your worst mosh pit injuries. Let us know everything about your experience, and give this video a thumbs up if you want. And I would say I should start and telling you what exactly happened and what I did, because this is so stupid and that makes it really funny in my opinion. As you maybe know, I'm a huge Slipknot fan. Slipknot is one of the most important bands in my life. And if you ask me, hey, what is the best Slipknot record? I would say it's of course Iowa. And the second best is the self-titled record. And Slipknot did a 25th anniversary tour and they played the whole self-titled record. And I thought, oh, that's pretty amazing. And that's a once in a lifetime chance. I need to go to see that. And of course it's a Slipknot show. I always go to a Slipknot show because I always think I need to go again. So yeah, it was 2024, December. It was my birthday and Slipknot played in Germany. And I thought that's a win-win situation. Slipknot, my birthday, I'm down for it. So we went to the location and I told everyone, well, this night is gonna be absolutely amazing, and at least I need a broken arm or a broken leg, then the night is perfect. So yeah, I'm always joking a little bit and say before a concert, well, at least I need to break something, because that means I went really nuts and I gave everything I could. I enjoyed it to the fullest. Of course, I'm not serious. This is a joke, but I always say it. And also that evening. So we went to the venue. Most of the people I knew, they went to the balcony because they wanted to sit. I don't know why you want to sit at a metal concert. And a friend and I, we went to the infield because we had the standing tickets. The most important tickets, because you can't mosh while you're sitting on the balcony. And now let's start with the funny thing. The opening act was Bleed From Within. And I thought, yeah, of course, I need to get warm for Slipknot. And I went directly into the mosh pit and I had a really, really good time. And then the crowd split in left side and right side, means wall of death. And I am always the guy who's in the middle. I mean, you probably, if you have watched some wall of death videos, you know what I mean. So there is the left side, the right side, and some idiots in the middle, and they wait until they get hit from both sides. And I'm one of these idiots, because I don't know. for people that are not into that. They look at this as pure violence and think this is scary. And it is scary a little bit, but the adrenaline rush, it's unbelievable. When you stand there and you see the crowd is coming from left and right, and you stand there and you think, oh, it's happening, and then they hit you and you are in the middle, and yeah, sounds scary, is a little bit scary, but the adrenaline you get, and I don't know. This is a feeling, it's hard for me to describe. You must experience that for yourself, but it makes so much fun. And then there was the wall of death, and I stood in the middle and I waited. And this is the part where things got shitty a little bit, because one side hit me probably a second first before the other side hit me. They hit me and pushed me to one side, and this side came, and the result was I lost my balance. And this is nothing new for me. So this happens, that people are going down. And usually, in mostly all of the cases, the crowd is seeing that and they stop the people around them from moshing and help you get up as fast as possible. Of course, in the past there happened some tragic things. Of course, it can happen that no one is noticing that someone lies on the floor, and yeah, even people died in this. But I would say 99% the case is always that people are looking after you and helping you, and it's safe. So, but the thing that was this time different to other concerts I went was when I fell down, I twisted my knee. So if this is my knee, it's hard now to show you. If this is my knee, if you would fall, you would... I don't know how to explain it. If this is your knee, it was sideways. My God. This is your knee. And when you fall, let's say this is the knee, this is your foot. And when you fall down and okay. But this time, I twisted my knee and fall on it this way. So my leg was going to the right side, away from my body. This is not good for your knee. But the worst thing that happened was that someone stumbled and fell down on me, who was lying on the floor. So not only my knee was twisted, this guy fell down on my head and pushed my head to the ground. And the problem is, everything happened so fast, and a second one also stumbled and fell on the person who was laying on me. And that was a little bit horrifying, because I couldn't breathe anymore. It wasn't possible. My knee was twisted, my head was probably, I could kiss my feet, and two people were lying on my head, pushing my head to the floor. I mean, I had two options. Option one was panic, and panic would have been very worse in this situation, because when you are in panic and you try to breathe very fast because you are afraid and in a panic mode, this could end very worse in this situation. I'm so happy that my mind is very clear in extreme situations, or at least in this situation. So my mind was immediately telling me, hold on your breath, don't try to breathe, trust the people around you, they will help you as fast as possible, and you will come back and you can breathe. So I did not try to breathe, I just was there holding my breath, and I just waited for, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds, and then the people started to help me and these other people get up again, and I could breathe again. That was very, very good. But my knee was hurting like shit. I hobbled to my friend, who's not really into moshing, so he was more on the side, and I got to him and I said, well, something horrifying happened in a mosh pit, but hey, I'm still alive. But my knee is hurting as shit. And the sad part is that I told people weeks before the concert, well, there's Slipknot and I will go nuts and I will break something. And this happened while the Bleed From Within show and not the Slipknot show. That's so sad. There are 1 or 2 people watching this video right now and thinking, is he stupid? Yeah. This is not the end, because I was there for Slipknot. And the Slipknot show started. And I thought, well, my knee still hurts as hell, but this is the once in a lifetime chance. This is Slipknot and they're playing the self-titled record. So I did the only thing that was right in this moment. I got back into the mosh pit. And I could jump. I figured out when I tried to put 90% of my weight to my good leg and just 10% of my weight to my bad leg, it doesn't hurt that much. The show started, I got back into the mosh pit and everything seemed fine. It did not hurt so much and I could mosh and everything was okay. Of course it hurt a little bit, but not too bad. And then they played a slower song. There was not much moshing. There was not much moshing. And then I fell to the ground. I don't know why. I mean, now I know why, but at this moment I couldn't feel my leg for a second. It just was, I was standing, this is my leg, and then it got, and I fell to the ground. I don't know why, because I was just standing still there. So people helped me get up. Slipknot started with a new song. The new song was heavy as hell. People around me got crazy and I was there. I couldn't stand on this leg. So I know I damaged something in my knee while the Wall of Death by Bleed From Within. And then I made it worse by going back into the mosh pit while Slipknot were playing. And yeah, I couldn't feel my leg for a second. I fell to the ground. I stood up and I couldn't stand on my leg. I needed to get out of the pit. And that's the part where it got scary for the second time because it was so loud. The people were all 100% into the moment and the show and they, I don't know, I smacked some people on the backs and said, help, help, I need help. I need to get out of here. But they couldn't hear me. It was a little bit horrifying because I barely couldn't walk. My knee was hurting as shit and no one was there to help me. I mean, of course, if I would have smacked someone in the face and said, help me, probably there would be someone who could have helped me, but I did not want to ruin someone's experience. So, no, I don't need a babysitter. I went back to my friend and I said, well, I fell down on the ground, I can't stand, I'm done. And my knee hurted like shit. That was Saturday evening. We went back home. I slept a little bit. Sunday, my knee was thick. I still couldn't walk right. And I said, well, let's go to the hospital and let's check it because this doesn't feel right. Then we drove to the hospital. I got an x-ray because I thought, okay, well, my knee is broken or something else really bad happened. And I got the x-ray. I went to the doctor and he looked at this picture and said, well, everything looks totally fine. It's swollen, is pretty much normal. It should go away in the next 1 or 2 weeks. Stay for 1 week at home, don't go to work, and then everything will be fine in 1 or 2 weeks. And I thought, well, okay, sounds good, nothing is broken, amazing. I went home, 1 week, 2 weeks, it did not get better. And do you want to know here some more funny stuff? I mean, I was a week at home and I was bored. So what do you do when you're bored and you are into body modification? Right, you start to tattooing yourself. Okay, you shouldn't do that, but I do that. And I tattooed my leg. And I use second skin, and I put on the second skin on my new tattoo. Everything was cool, and 2 days later I went to the shower. I mean, I shower every day, but this happened 2 days later, and a little bit of the shower water got into the second skin. I did not notice that. I thought this is just a little bit blood, etc., and a little bit ink, but it was soap and water, and I noticed that the day after, and it was too late because my new tattoo got infected. So I went to the doctor, got antibiotics, but the funny thing is, my right knee was the knee I twisted at the concert, and my left knee was infected. So it was hard for me to walk because I fucked up both legs in 2 weeks. Yeah, that was probably one of the most stupidest thing I ever did. And 4 weeks later, my tattoo was healed, but the other knee was still not really working. So I went to another doctor, and he said, well, sometimes you can't see everything on an X-ray, you need an MRT. And I said, okay, let's do an MRT. And the day I went to the MRT was so funny because they asked me, do you have some fresh tattoos? Because they can fade away a little bit in an MRT. I looked at my leg and said, yeah, well, it's 4 or 6 weeks old. And she said, yeah, it's okay, but it's funny that they asked for a new tattoo, and I thought, oh. So yeah, I went to the MRT, and a few days later I got the results and went to that doctor, and he started laughing, and I thought, well, maybe it's just a little bit wound liquid. Is it called wound liquid? So I thought he probably just takes a syringe and simply draws out the wound fluid, but there was no wound fluid. So why was my knee still swollen? And the answer is, I shattered my meniscus and half tore my cruciate ligament. And that's not cool, because I was afraid of the syringe stuff, but this meant I need to go to a hospital. So you have a cruciate ligament front and back in your knee, and that helps to stabilize everything. So if your cruciate ligament doesn't work because it's cut in half, it can't hold you, your whole body. It's so important. So, and it was half tore, and that's the reason why I fell on the ground and did not know why. Amazing, guys, amazing. So I went to a hospital, and they worked on my meniscus, made everything smooth again, and that was March 6th. Now we have June 24th, and I'm able, since I would say 1 month, to go back into Moshpits. And I would say last week was the first week I could go on my knees again. And I still can't go on my knees easily. I must go very slow on my knees. And that's also a very scary thing when I go into Moshpits right now, because I am afraid as hell that I could fall on the ground. I don't want to go through this stuff again. But I don't want to miss some mosh pits too. And that's my worst experience I experienced so far in a mosh pit. I fell on the ground, twisted my knee, shattered my meniscus, tore my cruciate ligament. People were falling on my head and pushed my head to the floor. I couldn't breathe, and it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it, because the show was amazing, and I know that I will never ever experience that show again. And I went to a Slipknot show last week, and hey, congratulations, I did not need to go to a hospital. But I thought maybe it's interesting to you, because at the beginning of the year I mentioned here and there that my knee was fucked and I needed to go to the hospital, but never really explained the whole thing behind that. And I thought maybe you are interested in these kinds of stories, and maybe you have a similar story to share. Feel free to share it in the comments, and tell me what you think about it. Do you think it was stupid? Because I really think it was stupid. It was stupid to go for a second time into the pit after I knew that my knee wasn't okay. It was way more stupid to tattoo myself on the other knee and get an infection because I showered and couldn't walk because both knees were fucked at the same time. But that's me. I'm always down for some stupid shit. As long some people can smile or laugh about it and I made people happy, that's all I want. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it wasn't boring. I hope you learned something from it, maybe. And yeah, like I said, leave a comment down below, give this video a thumbs up if you like this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to get notifications every time I release something new. And I would say, until next time, peace.